It has been about 1 week or so, depending on when I get this video out, since Sonic Movie 3 released in theaters, which is undoubtedly one of the best pieces of Sonic media to ever come out. And if you've seen the movie, you'll understand what I mean. And if you haven't seen the movie, well, there's spoilers in this video, so get out! But if you have seen the movie, that's great. That means you can stay. Because in this video, I'm not going to be talking about how great Sonic 3 is. I already did that in my previous video. Go watch that, linked in the end screen, by the way. We are going to be talking about the next movie, Sonic 4, which has already been confirmed for spring 2027. Yippee! That means we get more Blue Rat on the big screen. I love Blue Rat on the big screen. Yippee! I mean, we basically were already told that there was going to be something after Sonic Movie 3 with the post-credits and mid-credit scenes. But I mean, it's official now, Sonic 4 is happening. So what could we see in Sonic Movie 4, or more importantly, what do I want to see in Sonic Movie 4? Well, let's get into it. So the very basic premise of the movie, just taking a guess, Amy joins Team Sonic and they help take down this evil army of metal doppelgangers, which we could basically guess. If that's not the premise of the movie, then oh boy, they've really turned the table turns. But that very, very simple idea would be very cool. But they've already done Super Sonic and Super Shadow, the Space Colony arc, blowing up the moon. Like, where do you kind of go after that? Where do you go after that? Well, the most logical option, or unless if there's a more logical option and I'm just being not logical, I mean, I'm just eliminating the options here. I personally think we could get Silver the Hedgehog. That's right, the psychokinetic Cinnamoroll from the future could possibly be the main threat or the main plot point for the fourth movie. Now, of course, they could very well make this movie like a Sonic 06 adaptation, which I really hope they do not. I mean, Sonic 06 canonically doesn't exist because at the end of the game they erased it from the timeline, but that's... If you want to hear more about that, then find an actual qualified Sonic lore expert. My original thought with Silver is that when the Space Colony arc, or the Eclipse Cannon or whatever, when that blew up and like made it all radiated or whatever, that would have released that like giant energy shockwave that would have gone across the universe and alert a lot of the other Sonic characters to the presence of, Sonic on Earth. Which one of those characters could very well be Silver. My original hopes for the post-credit scene was that before I went to see the movie for the first time, I was trying to think of what the post-credit scene could be, and my thought was the post-credit scene would take place right after the Space Colony arc exploded, and a giant shockwave goes across space and alerts a little white hedgehog flying around. He's like, "Oh no, what is that? I need to go check that out. I'm Silver the Hedgehog. I'm going to be in Sonic Movie 4. And he turns to the camera and stares at you with his big ol' eyes. Probably not exactly that, but that was my idea. But that didn't happen. Instead, we got Amy beating the crap out of a bunch of Metal Sonics and Shadow putting on his inhibitor rings again, which were very cool. And online, I've seen a lot of other ideas talking about what they could do for the SCU, the Sonic Cinematic Universe, where they could take it after Sonic Movie 3. One of the big ideas that I've seen is that Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles goes out to space, goes out to other planets, which I think would be pretty cool, but personally, I more like the idea that they would do the Sonic X approach, where they merge Earth with the Sonic world, which, if you haven't seen Sonic X, spoilers, that happens, but yeah, that basically could explain how more of these Sonic characters could show up on Earth, because of course you have Sonic coming to Earth with a ring, Tails coming to Earth with a ring, Knuckles coming to Earth with a ring. A lot of these characters come to Earth through a ring, but if these people online want characters like Cream and Rouge and Silver and all the other characters to show up, but I mean, let's be completely honest, why would Cream, a literal 6-year-old child, want to come to Earth? Unless if her world gets merged with Earth and she's just on Earth, which I think that could be very, very interesting. Also, with the idea of them going out to space, it could be a completely animated movie, but like it could be a completely animated movie with more CG characters and more like just Sonic world. That would be really cool, but if they merged Sonic's world with Earth, they could do that where you could have Sonic in a Sonic environment, but you could also have him in just a normal human house, which I think is probably what they're going to do. If they're going to do a big thing with Sonic's world, they would probably do that approach, or some type of thing where more Sonic characters somehow arrive on planet Earth. Obviously, this video has also been a just complete random ramblings of a crazy person who went to see Sonic Movie 3 2 separate times in the theater. So, but this movie was just so good, and I loved it so much that I just had to make another video talking about it, because I'm very excited for Sonic 4, which is what the mid-credits scene teased. But the post-credits scene, what could that have teased? A Shadow spin-off movie. Now, we have talked about what could happen in Sonic 4, but what about the Shadow movie, which isn't officially confirmed that they're doing a Shadow movie, but there have been rumors and leaks that a Shadow spin-off was in development, which, yeah, it's at the very least it's going to be a Paramount Plus show like Knuckles, but Shadow was so popular in this movie that I think they just have to do a movie. What could this movie do exactly? What if Shadow is the one to go off-world? Like, he could go off-world trying to figure out who he is, where he came from, and do you know what we could get introduced to? Black Doom and the Black Arms. Because watching this movie a second time, I noticed that when they're explaining Shadow's origin story and they said that he came down in a meteorite, that meteorite looked very, very suspicious. And if you know Black Doom and the Black Arms and stuff, like, I think that's what they're setting up. I think that's possibly what they're setting up, because Shadow could not remember where he came from. So they could very well have it be where Shadow came from Black Doom, which would definitely be interesting if they adapt Sonic Adventure 2 and then jumping right into adapting the Shadow game. But I'm not complaining. We'll get to see more Shadow. And what else could they introduce other than the Black Arms and the Black Doom from the Shadow movie? Team Dark. That's right. That's right. I said this in the Sonic Movie 3 review, but I really want Team Dark to show up at least at some point in the Sonic universe. Shadow, Rouge, and Omega. Let's just be completely honest, Omega will sell so many toys. Big robot with big gun. I mean, Omega is really popular in the Sonic fandom, but outside of the Sonic fandom, the general public, which is most likely like 90% of the people that go to see the movies, they don't know who Omega is. They've kind of, after Amy and Metal Sonic, I think you kind of run out of characters that the general public will know. Because of course, like, if you ask anyone who doesn't know Sonic, they'll know Tails, they'll know Dr. Eggman, they know Knuckles and Shadow, and Amy and Metal Sonic are really the only other characters other than that the general public may know. But after you introduce the general public to Rouge and Omega, they could become really popular. And if they do a Shadow spin-off, they could do more Shadow lore in his own movie, and then in Sonic 4, they could have Shadow come back, but it's already explained why he's back, where he's been, and everything. And like I said earlier, these were just the insane ramblings of someone who went to see this movie way too many times. I mean, 2 is not way too many times. I could very well go and watch it a 3rd time, but I think that's a little overkill. I'll wait until it's out on DVD and Blu-ray, and then I'm going to watch it a lot. So that is my thoughts of what could happen in Sonic Movie 4 and what could be next for the STHCU, Sonic the Hedgehog Cinematic Universe. I hope you liked this video. You could watch my Sonic Movie 3 review in the end screen, and I'll also put my Shadow vs. Mickey Mouse video on the end screen. Watch both of them, please. Yeah. Also, Happy New Year. Man, I actually cannot believe that's already almost 2025. Anyway, yeah. I'll see you later. Gotta go fast. Whoa.